welcome all of you to this evening's state ceremony, which bears on the inauguration of the 2024 Joint Transition Team by the President of the Republic. We congratulate all the members of the 2024 Joint Transition Team for their appointments. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now my distinct honor and privilege to invite the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, to give his remarks, inaugurate the Joint Transition Team, and
elect, Vice President-elect, Chief of Staff of the Office of the President and officials of the Presidency, Ministers of State, members of the Transition Team, the Chairman and members of the Peace Council, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you to this inaugural meeting, which marks a significant step in our democratic process, the smooth transfer of power from one administration to another. This meeting and the processes we're about to undertake are firmly grounded in the Presidential Act of 2012, Act 845, which provides the legal framework for an orderly and transparent transition. The just ended presidential and parliamentary elections have once again reaffirmed the will of the Ghanaian people. On behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I extend warm congratulations to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on his decisive election as the next President of the Republic. I also warmly congratulate Professor Nana Addo, who has made history by becoming Ghana's first female Vice President-elect. A pioneering achievement that underscores the strides our nation is making toward gender equality and inclusivity in governance. I'd like to assure both of them of the full support of my government and myself for an effective transition, and wish them luck and God's blessings in the discharge of their high responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the peaceful transition of power is a hallmark of mature democracies. Fortunately for us in Ghana, the foresight of the Fifth Parliament of the Fourth Republic has, with the adoption of the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, established for us a robust framework for managing transitions, safeguarding the gains of our democratic journey. Today, we reaffirm our collective resolve to adhere to the letter and spirit of this act and ensure that this transition proceeds seamlessly, transparently, and with dignity. The composition of this transition team is thus in full conformity and accord with the Presidential Transition Act, with the composition of the President's team comprising the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, the Honorable Akosua Fremont Perry, who will serve as the alternate co-chair of the committee in my absence, the Attorney General Godfrey Adame, the Minister for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Osei Mensah Bunsu, the Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, the Minister for the Interior, Honorable Henry Quartey, the Minister for Defense, the Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Shirley Ayoko Boche, the Minister for Local Government, Honorable Martin Ajay Mensah Kosa, and the Minister for National Security, Honorable Ken Dapa. In accordance with the Act, there are also 4 ex officio members, namely the Head of Civil Service, Dr. Evans Agri Daku, the Head of the Local Government Service, Dr. Nana Addo Arthur, the Secretary to the Cabinet, Ambassador Mercy Deborah Karikari, and the National Security Coordinator, Mr. Edward Asumani. Furthermore, the Advisory Council provided for under the Act has been constituted. I have nominated Professor Mike Okoye, former Speaker of Parliament, to serve on this council. The President-elect, John Mahama, has nominated the former Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Edward Joe Ajaho, to represent him on the council, whose chair is ex officio the current Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Alban Bagbin. The functions of the transition team, as outlined in Section 2 of the Presidential Transition Act, are clear. They include ensuring a proper and seamless handover of executive authority, ensuring the provision of daily national security briefings to the President-elect, and ensuring the due discharge of the financial obligation of the state to Article 71 office holders. To execute these functions effectively, the Act makes provision at the instigation of the transition team for the formation of discretionary committees to address specific aspects of the transition process as it deems fit. It is obvious that the role of this team is not simply administrative. It is deeply patriotic. You are tasked with ensuring that the incoming administration receives all the resources, briefings, and support it needs to begin its work with a single objective of advancing the interests of the Ghanaian people. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is a reaffirmation of our shared commitment to the democratic principles that underpin our republic. This commitment is especially critical in the current context of West Africa, where the region faces threats from unconstitutional changes in government and the spread of terrorism and violent extremism. Ghana stands out as a beacon of democracy and stability, showcasing the strength of our institutions and the maturity of our people. It is imperative that we continue to consolidate this hard-earned reputation. By adhering strictly to the provisions of the Transition Act, we send a powerful message to the world that democracy thrives in Ghana, even in challenging times. As we embark on this transition, I urge all members of the team, both from the outgoing administration and the incoming one, to approach this task with a spirit of collaboration, transparency, and mutual respect. The people of Ghana are counting on us to prioritize their interests above all else. Let us not lose sight of our shared goal, safeguarding the freedom, the peace, progress, and stability of our beloved nation. This transition is not an end, but a continuation of Ghana's democratic journey, which serves as a model for our region and beyond. I call on all Ghanaians to support this process with patience, understanding, and faith in the institutions that underpin our republic. The strength of our democracy lies not just in the conduct of elections, but also in the respect for the outcomes and the orderly handing over of power. Let us continue to build a nation that serves as an inspiration to others, a nation united in its diversity and freedom, and steadfast in its pursuit of progress. President-elect, Your Excellency, you'll be happy to learn that the Minister of Finance has just informed me on my way here that the third quarter results of the economy has been established at a growth of 7.2%, making an average rate of the growth of the first three quarters at 6.3%. We are indeed back to the pre-COVID era of growth in my first term. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong.
We thank you, Mr. President. A round of applause, a more louder round of applause for Mr. President. Please be seated. The President of the Republic. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please resume your seats. Please, a louder round of applause. Let's welcome the President-elect.
President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency, the Vice President-elect, Prez Nana Addo, the Chief of Staff, indeed, let me say, distinguished guests, and stand on existing protocol. I want to thank His Excellency, the President, for his kind invitation this morning to visit the office of the President to discuss preliminary issues before the inauguration of the transition team this morning. I also want to thank him for the early briefing he gave me on issues of critical national importance in respect of national security and the economy. I want to congratulate him on superintending over what has been a successful election, and to congratulate the Security Service, the Electoral Commission, and all those who helped to make this election successful. Our country has done it once again, despite the belief of naysayers, and I believe that Ghana will continue to get it right when it matters the most. Today we're here to inaugurate the Joint Transitional Team as required by law, and I wish to congratulate the members who have been selected or nominated to serve on this Joint Transitional Team. There's huge expectation that this transitional team will get its work right so that we have a seamless and smooth transition of power from one democratically elected government to another. Obviously, this is in fulfillment of the Presidential Transition Act, which was signed into law in 2012 by our late President of blessed memory, Professor John Evan Sata Mills. The law requests that we set up a joint transitional team in a cooperative spirit with mutual respect and openness to the approach of matters during the transition period. The purpose is to achieve a smooth and peaceful transfer of government administration, as I said, from one government to another. We pray that the members of the Joint Transitional Team will work within the confines of this law to fulfill the wishes of the Ghanaian people as expressed in the votes of 7th December 2024. In accordance with law, I have nominated members of my side of the Joint Transitional Team and nominated Honorable Julius Deborah, former Chief of Staff, to represent me as Joint Chair of the Transition Team. I've also nominated, on the basis of experience and institutional memory, several other people, including Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who is the chairman of our party, but also served as a long-standing member of parliament and also as Deputy Minister of Agriculture. Honorable Fifi Fiavikwete, who's General Secretary of our party and served as Minister of Transport and Minister of Agriculture. Mr. Kalistus Mahama, who was head of the Ghana Local Government Service and also has been the administrator in my office these past 8 years. Professor Kwabena Ahoy, who is a doyen of local government, and if I want to talk about his credentials, we probably would not leave here today. And Mr. Atuforsen MP, who is our majority leader. In order not to stir controversy, maybe I'll say incoming I don't know what position he will take, but Honorable Mahama MP, who also served as Minister of Youth and Sports and also as Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, and is the MP for Boko Central. Honorable Valerie Sawyer, who served as Deputy Chief of Staff and also served as Special Presidential Advisor on Policy. And Honorable Guzi Tano, who is a long-standing cadre, has been a member of the PNDC and is a very well-known intellectual and very seasoned politician and businessman. We have 3 ex-official members, and the first is Honorable Prosper Bani, who served as Chief of Staff and also as Minister of Interior, but previously worked with the United Nations. We have Honorable Marita Brew Apia-Opong, who was Attorney General when I was President. And then we have the Doyen of Transitions, Honorable Nana Addo, who is a UN consultant on transitions and has worked on transitions in many countries. And of course, as Mr. President said, the Honorable Dua Jaho joins the Honorable Michael Quay under the chairmanship of Speaker Sumana Bagbin on the Advisory Council. I wish to ask that we all be guided by the spirit behind the Presidential Transition Act to ensure a smooth and seamless transition. We may belong to different political parties, but we all belong to Ghana, and let the spirit of our nationalism and patriotism prevail. We call on the transition team to work expeditiously and within a modest budget, given the prevailing economic circumstances, even though Mr. President seems to strike a very upbeat tone on recent numbers. I'm sure the transition team would establish that. Mr. President, you can count on my respect and cooperation during and even after this transition. We must demonstrate to the world that despite the adversity we face, Ghana remains the beacon of democracy in Africa. Now more than ever, destiny requires us as countrymen and women to close our ranks and stand in solidarity with each other. And just a little slip, I omitted Dr. Edward Omani-Boama, who was Minister of Communications in my government and has been the Director of Elections during the past election. And so we must put our country first, and the work would be onerous, but we expect that you're capable and you're going to put your shoulders to the wheel. Myself and Mr. President will be available in case you need to consult us on anything. Let the spirit of cooperation that has marked the post-election period continue to guide us even as we go through this phase. And so I want to thank you all, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the President-elect. Please resume your seats.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGA.